It's Olympia week, and what would the Olympia week be without a major controversy?
I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
And yes, it is Olympia week, and we are back, and we are live here for another edition of Heavy Muscle Radio. I'm Dave Palumbo, joined by the technician in Las Vegas, Chris Aceto, who's there nice and early with all his athletes. Chris, you were just complaining about how there's no sleep for you. You can't. You're tired, and what's going on over there? I know you have like about 25 athletes in the show, but you're supposed to be relaxing a little bit over there.
Wake me up when the show's over, Dave.
Oh my God! How many people are you working? 11? Is that what it was?
11 people.
Wow. That's incredible. It's a lot of people. And are they all staying near you or close to you?
Everyone's in my hotel with the exception of one individual.
Whose couch are you sleeping on?
Well, the room the room is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
What hotel are you actually in? Not
the Hilton, Dave. And I didn't tell you, but I think the Olympia. What's the Olympia price money?
I don't know. Jake has not announced the first place prize money.
I may donate a couple $100,000 because I sold without them knowing to the 11 athletes the Chris Aceto VIP tickets. It gets you with me. 11 competitors' rooms. See them morning, noon, and night. The ticket $2,000, and I sold 500.
Yeah, I have you know how like they used to pay and they probably still do this. They would pay like Phil Heath to have a party at a nightclub, or Jay used to have parties at nightclubs. Tice, and everyone who went, they would get credit for all the people who go there. Yeah. You should have like the hotels should pay you for bringing athletes to the hotels, like because you have so many people in the show.
Well, I think people would pay to come and hobnob around, and would go to and people and tell them.
Chris Aceto's the unofficial official hotel of the Olympia.
Yeah, the tour you get to see the on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. $2,000. It's a deal.
In Amsterdam, when you walk around in the red light district, the girls sit in the window, so you can kind of pick which window you want. Which girl you have. What you do is once on every hour, the bodybuilder has to walk past the window, and so you can see. Oh, there's Andrew Jack. Look, I saw him. He looks amazing. There goes. There's a Ramon. I see him.
Good Vito.
Speaking of Good Vito, I know you sent me some pictures of Andrew Jack that I'm not allowed to show, and he looks pretty insane. How's Good Vito looking? I haven't seen him.
Good Vito has a showstopper back. It's only 2 shots. I don't know where he's going to place, but it's going to be a great show for him because, he's an Olympian. The mat. He's got the J and the J width, so the front double is ludicrous, and the back flat spread is really impressive. And the other shots are impressive too. They all look great. But it's just, the lineup is, as we've talked, it's just a showstopper of a lineup. It's unbelievable. I wouldn't want to judge it. It's even hard to give your opinion.
Is that an accurate shot of what we're seeing there?
Yeah, let's see. I think that's a little phony lighting.
Right.
I think he's got the Instagram filter on it.
Yeah.
But he looks, it's the width is not phony. Maybe the condition is, enhanced.
Yeah, that's wacky. That's a wacky shot, though.
And the funny thing is, Dave, is I went through the lobby yesterday. If you bumped into him in the lobby, he looks so incredibly small in clothes. It's just like nothing.
Those are the guys you always have to watch out for. The guys
You would think he's maybe like some kid who's a fan, who's been 2 years into training, who's got good results.
Yeah.
He's not impressive in clothes, which is why I like at the prejudging they do make take clothes off.
He's very impressive in these pictures. If he's anywhere even close to this, I mean, these guys.
I think that was running into Pittsburgh, and he's better here. He's got he's got back width, but he doesn't have like a showstopper back double.
Yeah. He could be the dark horse that like a lot of people kind of forgot about because he didn't make it to Pittsburgh because he had that injury, and he obviously won the Arnold Brazil and qualified there, but I think we all wanted to see him in Pittsburgh. No one got a real chance to do it. Very few people were probably in Brazil aside from the Brazilians. So he's kind of like a sleeper guy that everyone's sleeping on because no one really knows how he stacks up against some of the top guys, which would have happened if he had done Pittsburgh. So he might be the guy that people sleep on, and that he could either do amazing or he might bomb out. I don't think he's going to bomb out though, but by the way he's been looking, I think that he's an interesting guy to talk about because he's kind of like no one really, if he's hit or miss, no one really knows what to expect from him because we haven't seen him compared to some of these guys on stage.
Exactly. And I mean, I that's my struggle to handicap him perfectly because I've never seen him. I've been his coach for quite a while, but I've never even seen him on stage in person next to other people. I've only seen like photos next to Antonio Burton, Raphael, Martin. But he's improved since competing in those shows against those guys.
Yeah. I don't know. I so busy this week.
Yeah.
For some reason, it always seems like right before I leave for the Olympia,
you're only on an show.
It's the 2 days like I have of the week that before I leave are just like, can I potentially have any more stuff to do on these days leading up to leaving?
Yeah.
I want to just wave a wand and be in Vegas. I really wish I was, but
well, I had lunch with Jay, and he told me that you were coming on the show. Right?
You know what I do? This is what I do, Chris. Every year, I go to the Olympia. I'm complaining right now before even leaving for the Olympia, but I go to the Olympia and I'm there on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I usually go on Sunday morning because I got stuff to do. But I book so many things in that window, that 4-day window that I'm there, that I have no time to relax. I don't go to I barely get to go out and eat any place that I really enjoy. I don't even have any time to go see Chris Angel this year. Last year, at least, we went to Chris Angel. But one day, I've had dinners with people. I got to show up. I'm going to Jay's to do the Cutler podcast at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. And I got another guy who wants to interview me for another documentary they're doing. I overcommit is what I do, and then what happens is I don't enjoy the weekend because I'm running around like a lunatic. And unfortunately, if any of you guys have gone to Vegas, it's convenient the way where they have everything situated, but there's still a level of inconvenience about Vegas because it's busy and there's traffic, and you can't just zip around from place to place that easily. So I rented a car, which I know is a no-no in Vegas, but I have to because otherwise, how am I going to get to Jay's and do all this stuff? So
what I do? So you drop like $5,000 on Ubers.
I refuse to do that. I have no patience to wait for them.
I comes out tomorrow, and I said, you have to come. You're so helpful. He said, what do I do? I said, you get the Uber for me. Like I PayPal money into his or Zelle money into his account and say, just you order the Ubers. I'll say,
right.
We're going downstairs right now. We get down there right now.
Yeah.
Or I'll send them down first. I'll say, you go down and wait for me. Just call the Uber and tell the guy we'll pay.
Right. I don't know. It's a busy weekend, and plus I committed to the Bob Goldman's International Sports Hall of Fame, which is Saturday morning. So I got to go to the expo, at the Las Vegas Convention Center, which is where the expo is, and that's where the prejudging is for the 212. And right on Friday morning, am I correct? 212?
No,
yeah.
I think I don't even know when prejudging is.
Yeah, prejudging 212 is that, and I think I don't know. Saturday morning, I'm talking about, it would be Classic Physique and Physique.
Okay, because
Yes.
I was gonna write it down.
No, because I was thinking Friday morning. So Saturday morning is Classic Physique. Chris is having a nervous breakdown now. Classic Physique on Saturday morning and Men's Physique. And last year I went to Classic Physique and I had to get back in that little Tesla tunnel to get back to the hotel, which is where the Sports Hall of Fame is. But I actually want to watch Men's Physique this year because Ali Bilal has gotten me so jived up about the Men's Physique lineup between him and Ryan Terry and Jeremy Buendia coming back, and then Aaron Banks and the whole crew, Brandon Hendrickson. I actually want to see it this year. So I don't know how I'm going to make everything, but they got too much jammed into one weekend, and then I got to get back to the expo and do interviews at the expo. Yeah, so I don't even know what I'm doing, to be honest with you. I don't know where I'm going. My head's up my butt.
Do you have a number for this guy, Oscar? The very
it's an inside joke. Yeah, it's an inside joke.
But some people listening know who it is.
Yeah, I know. They do. They might know what we're even talking about.
You're gonna be tired, Dave.
It's not even tired. It's not even tiring. It's just it's you can't. It wasn't the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. You can't have two. I think you can't be in two places at the same time or something like that.
I went to bed last night. I got up at 4. I told Dave, and I said He said, "You should be sleeping in late." I said, "No, I'm excited to be away from home, like away from responsibilities, away from kids."
Right.
Someone asked me, they said, "You miss your." They didn't even get to the tape for kids. I said, "No, not anymore. I'm over that." That was on the fourth one. Do you miss your kids? No.
Well, now your kids come with you.
Yeah, well, they could. I had lunch with Jay, and I told Jay, it's insane. What a little Jay story is. But by the way, let me took me to an incredible place for brunch in a beautiful neighborhood, ridiculously beautiful, quiet, where his first house out here was. And of course, when he goes there, it's ridiculous. So many people know him. Like, oh, Jay, Chris, we're dressed as bums. Everyone else is here in Gucci and Armani clothes, So there was like an Asian family with like a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, or a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old. I couldn't really, and they were sitting near us, and a mother and father and 2 kids. And I looked over because I noticed, it's all like professionals here, and adults and older people, and then there's a family. You don't see, 2 kids.
Right.
Of course, we're eating, and then I see the kids get up and tap Jay on the shoulder. "Can I get a picture with you?"
They knew who he was?
Yeah, and Jay, of course, Jay is the best. He stands up, flexes, takes pictures with the kids, talks to the kids for longer than anyone would, just a couple minutes. They go sit down, and of course, when we leave in the restaurant, Jay goes by the table to say goodbye to the kids. It made their day. The idea that not only did we take a picture with Jay, but he came back to the table to say, "Hey, we're leaving. See you."
That's awesome. Like, Jay's a good guy, though. I mean, he understands all this with the kids and the people who are the fans. I mean, a lot of people don't get it. They start there's a lot of people out there that have the Jay Cutler money and success, and
those people I hear again.
They don't care about people.
Sure, Dave, because he's going up and up. So you might have to refine that. Have Jay money. You might.
No, but I'm saying there's a lot of people that they get to a level of fame and they don't want to take the time to
Oh, you talked about Jay. I thought you talked about people.
No, to take pictures with people. I mean, and to still be down to earth and talk to people and motivate people. Jay's just like he's a people person, which is good. He hasn't lost that, even though he is a star. In a sense, he hasn't lost that. the reason I say this is I remember as a kid I went to the I wanted to see spring training with the Yankees. My grandmother moved to Fort Lauderdale for a brief period of time, and my father, believe it or not, I don't know how we convinced him. He took me to. My father was a Yankee fan though too. He took me to the Fort Lauderdale where the Yankees did spring training, and Reggie Jackson was the big name back then. Little did I know I would see Reggie Jackson 25 years later at Gold's Gym Venice, but at that time Reggie was a big deal, and we all wanted to get. I wanted to get the Reggie Jackson autograph, right?
What commercial did he make? It was like what was the average? He was like one of the first people in baseball to endorse something with like Pepsi or Coke or.
I don't know, but he had the Reggie bar. Remember the Reggie bar?
Reggie bar, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Sid said even at FIBA. But Reggie Jackson, so all the kids would, try to get autographs from Reggie. And Reggie would like sign like one or something like that. And then he'd be like, sorry, and like, I'm thinking it's spring training. It's spring training. This is not like a big deal. I mean, the people are paying money to go to the ballpark to watch these guys play spring training. Yeah. Sign some freaking autographs for God's sakes, But and then there were other players that were signing for like an hour straight there.
Like an Italian way. Hey, 25 years ago, I was at Fort Lauderdale spring training.
Yeah,
it was called what was it? Was it the Polo Grounds? No, that's where they paid.
No, that's the way the Giants used to play, New York Giants. But yeah, I always remembered that, it was kind of weird, because there were other players that would sign and then he just didn't, want to be bothered. It's funny. I was just looking at a reel recently where they were talking about this rapper went into there was this it was like a common restaurant, like where a lot of stars and baseball players and basketball players hung out, and Michael Jordan was in there, and he goes up to Jordan and, he's like wanted him to sign something like that. He's like, "Hey, Mike," and Mike's like, "Yeah, I'm busy. I'm playing cards or something like that." The guy's like, and then his friends are like, "This is so and so, a rapper or whatever." He's like, "I don't give a shit." He goes, "Yeah, I just wanted to let you know I bought some merchandise from you, from a auction house. I was wondering if you'd sign it." He goes, "Yeah, $25,000." The guy's like. And his friend's like, "No, Mike, he's cool. He's a rapper." He's like, "I don't care. $25,000. I sign it."
The guy had the ability to sell it. If he doesn't know.
Yeah. So I don't see Jay doing that ever. So thank you, Jay, for being so down there. That's why I'm doing Jay's podcast, because he's such a good guy. Anyway. Greg Valentino told me the same thing, that Reggie Jackson was his fan. Greg Valentino was a real big baseball fan, and when he went out to Gold's and was living there, he was training with Reggie Jackson every day. He's like, I couldn't believe it. He goes, all Reggie used to do is hit on all the bodybuilder girls there. That's the only reason he went to Gold's Venice. He wanted to hit on all the girls there. I said, I guess according to Greg liked some girl, and Reggie snatched her away from him or something like that. I said, Greg, you just didn't have the fame and the bankroll to win her over, I guess. I said, so he probably saved your fortune. So, all right, let's get to the controversy. Obviously, the Olympia's coming up. We're going to talk about that, but there's a huge controversy, as there is every year. Chris, what's that noise?
That's people, texting me. So we got to get. Well, that's people in the show.
Oh, all right. Well, don't they know that you're doing the most important thing of the weekend, which is Heavy Muscle Radio live?
Don't text.
Mike Sommerfeld, the Arnold Classic Physique champion, the second place or first runner-up last year behind Chris Bumstead, has to be considered the favorite going into the Olympia. There's some controversy now about his height. Chris, I've been saying for the last 2 years, at least the last year and a half, how does this guy make weight? His legs are big. He's huge.
You've legitimately annoyed the hell out of me with that comment, because my answer would be like, who cares? Who knows? You've harped on it. If you took a compilation of the past 104 shows, I bet you've said it 10 different times, maybe 15 different times, with regard to how does this guy make the weight. And I always just say, I don't know. I mean, look at I've the only one comment I had once was, well, look at Wheeler when he was at his best. He was like 226. I said he looked 250.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
looked at, you said that no, you said that was an exception.
Yeah.
But you made the exception for Mike. So,
But
I
but
just
Mike's got to weigh. He should be weighing under 200, and the guy and for his height. And now we're finding out that the height is not accurate, and supposedly he's weighing. I mean, he's hiding at 1.73 meters, and he's supposedly only 1.71 meters. There's a discrepancy of at least 2 height category differences, which is what, about 12 pounds or something like that difference. Is that what the discrepancy is? 12 to 14 pound difference?
so much. I've heard so much with just like I bump into people who are already here, bodybuilding people who I've known for years, and people say, I've heard every number thrown out for like how many pounds he is over for a certain height. I'm like, whatever, just too much.
Sid? Do we know who exposed this controversy first? I mean, aside from me, questioning it over the last year and a half. I mean, who actually went and actually dug up the numbers? Because there's obviously a problem here, and there's enough of a problem, Chris, that the judges have put out a notification to all the athletes saying that everyone will be reheighted at the Olympia. Now originally they had made some kind of a thing where they would have height cards, remember? Because it was like everyone was hiding in different mounts at all these different shows. They were going to make height cards, but now with this controversy, they're going to reheight everyone in, to make sure that there's no discrepancy, which I think is a good idea. Who is the best bodybuilder? Yeah, it was on his Instagram. Yeah.
My understanding of what I've heard, and I don't know if it's true, is that apparently somewhere there's a video where they ask him how tall are you? And he gives an answer. So that was like the spark that I guess got this whole thing going, is that, okay, if you yourself are answering, this is how tall I am, and then someone checked it versus what his official height is, then the rumors got rolling.
Yeah,
that's a little Chris Bumstead, looks like a toupee there, but more than that.
He doesn't look like it's so flat on his head.
I mean,
either,
that's kind of like exaggerating your bank account. I mean, how tall is he without the hair?
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess, Dave, what is the standard procedure? On there, they're barely touching the top of his head, like the hair. Is that what they've done in the past? Or did they slam that down to the skull?
Well, look at Mike's hair. Hair doesn't look like that's one of his hiding ins right there. Let's see. So they're saying that he's he's getting extra inches there. Even a few centimeters is going to help out. Look, I love the guy, but you know what? The guy's got enormous legs, and for his height, I mean, he looks huge. I've always said it, meanwhile, I see you having to starve and dehydrate almost to death Ramon to make weight, and I'm like, how the heck is this guy making weight? And Ramon is dying, and Ramon is a lot taller than Mike. I don't get it. It doesn't ever made sense to me.
Yeah, well, we know that the one year when Ramon couldn't make weight, the second year he got second. He made the weight, and it was like really but it was really wire. And then he got on the scale for them to. They went to measure his height, and they said, "You're not the height that qualifies you for this weight," which was like me thinking like, I have blue eyes. Someone said, "Hey, Chris, your eyes are green." I'm like, no, I thought my height color is. And I think what happened there is like he was hydrated, like shrunk 2 centimeters, and we just happened to run into someone in the lobby, like chiropractor guy or whatever, and Some guy chiropracted him and whatever, stretched him and did massaged his back and pulled on his legs or whatever, neck, and he went back in and he was back to what his normal height was. But he
Yeah,
made
but Chris,
it because in this case, Dave, not only was that year with Ramon was there's a weight to think about, which he could make. There was at the end the height, but then the height had a time limit. He had to like get like a centimeter and a half or whatever it might have been in like the next 20 minutes. And
yeah, but there's a difference. You know what the difference is? The difference is that Ramon's height had always been what it was, and now all of a sudden it was a little shorter, maybe because his spine was compressed. But here's the issue: if Mike, whatever, I don't know what Mike heighted in at the last time, 1.73, I think it was. Sid, you can confirm this number. If he comes in significantly lower, now that they're really gonna, accurately height these guys in, I mean, once again, I love the guy's physique. I like the guy. He's great for the sport. But I mean, it's almost grounds for disqualification from these other shows. I mean, think about it. It means that he's been cheating essentially, and it's not his fault. Obviously, it's whoever was hiding. I don't know who was hiding him in. But
I mean, that is my point. It's not necessarily cheating. Is if you look at that Chris Bumstead photo, there's an inch and a half. The measurement device is touching the top of his inch and a half Turkish hair.
Right.
So if they push it all the way down,
right.
So I don't know, like in the past, if the modality has been, okay, you stand there and they just put it down to the top of your hair. And obviously in that picture, they bring it down to the top of Mike's hair, the top of C-Bum's hair. But in this case, Mike has a lot of hair. Mm-hmm. And then that picture, Chris does too. So, you could say they were consistent on those two people in terms of the top of their hair. And if someone has, doesn't have that fullness to their hair, and they push it right down.
I don't think though Bumstead ever had trouble making weight. I mean, he never even was close. So I don't think that like he got an advantage from it because he never really filled out his height for the weight anyway. But Mike is so compact. You know what I mean? He's not really that tall. That I mean, to have legs that size, legs weigh a lot. That's why I always was confused because I'm like, I've never seen legs this big on a classic guy who was able to make weight. And but it's gonna look. I think it's gonna look really bad for I don't know for him or for whoever been hiding him, because whoever hiding him before that is gonna have some splaining to do, Chris. Because if there is a discrepancy. If it's a quarter of a millimeter, then no one's going to say a word. But if it is significant, where it affects maybe 2 height classes down, that could be a big problem. And I don't know, how that gets rectified. I also don't know if you're Mike Sommerfeld and who's his coach.
I think Neil is his coach.
Is it Neil? Yeah, I think Neil coaches him, right? I mean. If I'm Neil, I got to be panicking now because now you think that Mike can weigh one number, and now you're told that less than a week out he might have to weigh a lot less. I mean, they got some problems, right? Could affect his conditioning for sure.
Well,
suppose he was hiding in at 1.75. Wow. He's like 5'8", whereas many believe he's more like 5'5", 5'6". That would be a major problem, Chris.
Not 5'5".
No.
It's kind of 3 in.
He might be 5'6", though. He might be in that range. Look, if it's an inch difference, that's big. That's a big weight difference. So he's going to have to really suck himself down. And now he's going to be in the Ramon category and the Urs category, where these guys had to kill themselves to make weight, and it really affected their look ultimately, right? I mean, you can only fill up so much after weighing in. I don't care what you do. It's impossible to rehydrate and fill up in one day. Even a day and a half is not that much. It usually takes a week to really, fill out again. So it's going to be interesting. I think we might, Mike's pretty hardcore. He'll probably pull it off somehow, but I have to imagine it's going to affect his conditioning a little bit, or his look, his fullness.
The look.
Yeah. So we'll see. It once again, it's going to be embarrassing if the number is a big difference from what he's been hiding in at the Arnold Classic and at the Olympia. That's going to be a problem to explain. And you know what? Maybe there's a consistency issue. Maybe all these guys are going to be a lot shorter. The only person we know who's not is Ramon, because we've already gone through this with Ramon. We know what Ramon's height is. I mean, that's pretty. He's already. You guys have figured that out already. You know.
The height. Yeah, I asked him about the height to confirm it. So,
yeah. But no, I mean, he's been heighted so many times at this point. You know what he is. I mean, there's no messing around. He doesn't have long, hair either. That's poofed up high. So
I need my son here. So when they say Ramon can be 181 centimeters, I have to say, great. I'm just too tired. Can you tell me what that is?
It's funny. It's funny that they do it in, that they do it in meters, But they do translate it though too. So it's one of these things that's controversial, and it doesn't seem like a real big deal when you mention it. Just like big deal, we'll figure it out. But it is a big deal because it does affect how you look.
Dave, let me. Me and Eduardo were talking about it last night, and I mean, the weight cap for the 212 was 212, and would have probably had 4 Olympias. The weight, it was not 212, but 216. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the same thing. Like I could get him to 216.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really technically get him to 212, and it reflects the point you made. When I would get him to 212, there's only so much you can do in a day and a half after the weigh-in. No matter how much you drink or you eat, or you could do 12 meals and drink a gallon of water, and you don't get that 216 look back where you came down from.
Right. No, you're right. It's a big deal. It is a big deal, and I'm interested to see what happens. Now, is that weigh-in open to the public, or is that usually something that they do behind closed doors?
They've closed. They've closed. I don't know about last year, but 2 years ago they closed it. It was closed in private.
That's a good picture. I like that. Someone had it showed him like as a punk rocker too. I saw another AI picture of with Mike Sommerfeld with his hair is like about 25 inches high. Yeah. Go ahead. Just finish what you're saying, Chris.
I lost my train of thought, Dave.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been that aggressive.
Oh yeah, that one. That's great. Whoever did that one was really good. That was awesome. It actually looked real when I first saw it on Instagram. Mike hits the weight cap.
Okay. I joke about saying, hey, I'm selling VIP tickets to Chris Aceto's tour of the Olympia in the hotel room. You get to go in and see. You probably could do get Dan Solomon on the phone and say, why pay-per-view cover the height and weigh-ins?
It's probably more exciting than the press conference.
Yeah,
they should probably do it at the press conference. There you go. You want to have a good press conference? Hold the height in at the press conference, Dan, and then you'll sell that thing out. You're streaming it anyway. You might as well do it right there. Right? If it's being done on the up and up, and everyone's getting heighted in, I would rather sit there for 20, 30 minutes and watch each guy get heighted in than actually listen to these Olympia guys who are half awake, argue, talking to each other.
Some of the weight classes you could put up on the stage. You could put a treadmill and a sauna. So like the 212 guys, nope, so and so is 214, and they can get a from the sauna company. The fans could cheer on the depleted guy who's 214. He's been in the sauna 45 minutes. Now he's going.
I would like to see them weigh the open guys in. What do you think about that? How about in lieu of the press conference, at the press conference, we weigh the open guys in. Just, it doesn't matter, obviously, but just to see what everyone weighs. Because, Andrews would probably be the heaviest guy, right?
Yeah.
And just so we can see, we love weights, right? And then you hype the classic guys in, you weigh your 212 guys in, and that's the press conference. There it is. It's an hour. I don't want to hear these guys talk anyway. I want to hear them. I want to hear them. I want to see them weighed in and height it in. Be more exciting. So that's my suggestion for the press conference. By the way, no one contacted me about participating in the press conference. So I don't even know what they're doing for the press conference, to be honest with you. But our good friend Dan Solomon, who by the way has a book out. I don't know if you saw, he wrote a book.
Yeah.
It is available on Amazon.com now. You can see all the information at his Instagram page. I'm hoping I'm going to get a complimentary copy of it. If not, I'll buy one. There it is, Win Fuel. Dan took good care of us. We got seats, we got press passes, everything.
Steve Blackman's going to lose his mind.
He stole the Twin Lab fuel thing, right?
Might be Dan coming.
I think Blackman owns the copyright on the word fuel.
Fuel. Yeah, Viagra fuel, wine fuel, rip fuel,
diet fuel, mass fuel.
Yeah,
right?
the high fuel, yeah.
Dale Alexander, the Codfather. He owns that one. Codfather. Cod liver oil, right? Dale Alexander brought cod liver oil to the market. Blackman called him the Codfather. So you better check out. You might get a lawsuit from the Blackman family for that. Although I don't think doesn't Tony Robbins own like Twin Lab now or something like that?
He bought it.
He said it was the worst investment he ever made. Did you ever hear him say that?
No.
He lost a fortune. Tony Robbins said, I got scammed because I didn't do my diligence on this one investment. I was watching one of his seminars and I was like, what could he possibly have invested in that was so bad? He's like, yeah, I got talked into buying this.
Dave.
What?
1 degree of separation. What do you say, Twin Lab?
Yeah, he said, I got talked into buying this company called Twin Lab. He goes,
he could have just paid you as a consultant. One time he could have done his diet. Could have done his diet for him.
Yeah.
Could have, buy the diet, get the business advice for free.
Right.
I'm thinking invest in a company called Twin Lab. Don't do it.
Well, this was after the Blackmans had already gone public with 50% of it and then sold the other. They kind of bankrupted. They sucked all the money out of the company. There was nothing left really. But I guess Tony Robbins thought he was going to turn it around, and I just think that it was just too much debt there, or something like that.
Up the numbers, or was it just like hidden debt behind the veil?
Yeah, they made it seem like it was like a good deal, and it just.
Yeah, it wasn't a good deal.
It just wasn't a good deal. It wasn't a good deal. Sometimes, it is. Sometimes companies have a lifespan too,
Yes.
And
scary to think when you're invested in stocks, supplements, everything has a lifespan.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Warren Buffett's worst investment in the history of his life.
What?
He bought into a Maine shoe company.
Oh, he did really? That's funny.
And the way he bought into it is he went to a company called Decker Shoe, which is in Maine, and it's owned by people making shoes in Maine forever. And he said, I want to buy the company. And what he usually does is he gives you a check and get out. Okay, buying species, get out of here.
Right.
And he keeps the management, but he owns it so that he can control everything, but he pays cash. And he said, he's always said, my stock is more valuable than any company that I buy. He never gives up people share. He'll only give them cash. And the family said, we will not sell it unless you buy it with swap to us Berkshire shares. So he bought the company instead of cash. He gave him shares of Berkshire Hathaway.
Oh.
Went to zero.
Wow.
Bankrupt. And the family kept the Berkshire stock, which they still have. Well, I think it's worth $1 billion.
Oh my God! Wow.
So everywhere you go in Maine, it's like the Alphons, the Alphon family hospital, the Alphon family daycare, the Alphon family ice cream, the Alphon family, and it's all paid for with Berkshire money.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Meaning, you're right. Every company has its lifespan, and that lifespan was died right after Warren Buffett worked.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know.
Olympia, Dave. You seem like you're getting texts in there. You got a million things going on.
I got people sending me stuff. I'm trying to go through it all, but I think that the Classic Physique Olympia might be the most talked about of the weekend because of the controversy, and I'm just wondering how it will be perceived if there is a huge discrepancy in the heights of some. And I'm not even just saying just of Mike. I'm talking about of some of these other guys too.
The potential wider question is, will there be someone else who they measure and they say, you know, you're 1 centimeter off, and the person is 2 centimeters off, stretches, and they say you didn't make the height, you made the weight, but you thought, you know, but we're changing the way we measure.
Yeah.
And there's a couple categories. I mean, if there's 80 guys in the show, or how many people are qualified, someone may need the weight.
Your connection, your audio doesn't sound good at all. I don't know but my audio probably doesn't sound good either. The problem, Chris, is I can guarantee you there's going to be someone who gets kicked out of the show that's not going to make it. And that's going to be hugely controversial, of course. I would like to see whose height changes. That's going to be interesting, right? Because there might be people that we didn't even know that were getting heighted in incorrectly. And I think there's a lot of people that are a little nervous out there, to be honest with you, about this. I would be, because obviously they're going to be measuring to the millimeter now, you know, because there's too much public opinion looking down and watching this very closely. If this was before the years of social media, would this ever have happened?
No, because I mean, it just social media is the dominant. Social media is the press conference for this show, actually.
Yeah.
Press conference is, you know, a controlled environment where 3 people can ask questions, most of them softballs.
Yeah.
You know, social media is the Wild West, and it's the real press conference.
Mm-hmm.
You can get to see what people look like, or hearing the rumors, the truths, the not truths, the half truths.
Right.
I mean, that's why when I check into the hotel and I walk through the lobby and someone, you know, doesn't even look like, you know, they're a bodybuilding fan, but it's like someone's grandfather, maybe competed 40 years ago, who says, you know, did you hear about Mike Sommerfeld? Like, no.
That's true. Sure. Well, at least it brought a lot of attention. They were worried that you know, when Bumstead retired, that no one was going to care about Classic Physique. Well, I guess they found something to bring people back to it. So I think that it's going to be talked about quite a bit. Also, whenever there's a title that's vacated, okay, and there's no reigning champ, you know, to defend the title, that's exciting too, because it kind of the door is wide open. So everyone thought Mike Sommerfeld wins the Arnold, devastating everyone, right? He's by far the favorite coming in here. I mean, to just clean house. Now, all of a sudden, he's got to worry about making weight. Whoever brought this to light, this whole thing, and I don't know who was behind it, it's brilliant, because now this guy has got to make weight. He's going to be heighted in. More than likely, he's going to be a little shorter. It might not be very much, but he's going to be shorter than what he was at the Arnold, obviously. And he's going to have to bring his weight down. That could affect his conditioning, and it might leave the door open for someone to come in there and steal the show. The
idea that you might not make a weight flat. You're doing the 212s. I don't know if I can make the weight. I just can't. I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Stress.
Forget about the height. 212. The stress of that.
Mm-hmm.
Send off your best look. Absolutely guaranteed. Because I have been there when people are just like stressed out of their minds, and like, you know, what's your weight? Well, I was up all night long. Of course you weren't. You drop a pound. Did you eat anything, drink anything? Not a single thing.
No.
You dropped
No.
half a pound.
Yeah.
I mean, that alone.
Yeah, go from 6 meals a day to nothing for 2 days, to make
Yeah,
weight and see how your body looks after that.
So
Yeah.
many, balls in the air that can affect the way you look on the day of the show.
Right. It's absolutely true, and you know what? Anyone who doesn't take into consideration what it does to your body when you don't eat for 2 days, you'll see.
Yeah.
We'll know the guys' physiques who had to suffer to make weight.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get to the open lineup because I think that's really what people want to hear about. And we have probably one of the most competitive lineups that I can remember in recent years. Obviously, we have how many? We have four Mr. Olympia champs in this lineup, right? We have Derek, Hottie, the reigning champ, Samson Dowd, and I think Brandon's. Is Brandon in the lineup? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's the lineup right there. And
that says, I think in a nutshell, that tells you the two things: the depth of the lineup, the four Mr. Olympias, and those four Mr. Olympias obviously have four very different physiques, four different strengths. The lineup really.
Are you breaking up?
I can hear. I get tons of background noise on your end. Tons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you hearing? Oh, really? I think Sid said he heard that too. I don't know why. There's a hissing sound. I don't know. What about it? Is this any better?
Nope.
No.
Now it is. Now it's better.
Oh, okay. Well, so you got the four reigning champs. You have Andrew Jack. Okay. We have Nick Walker, who hasn't been in the Olympia for 2 years. We have Beirut Tabani, who couldn't get a visa for 3 years. He's in this. What are we going to expect? I mean, it's almost very hard to handicap this whole thing. Obviously, the top three from last year have to be considered the favorite here, right? The favorites: Derek, Hottie, and Samson. But Nick Walker came on really strong this year. He's looking insane in the pictures we've seen of him. Beirut has never stood up against these guys on an Olympia stage, so we have to, or an Arnold stage for that matter. So we have to consider him a threat. And Andrew Jack is looking pretty insane from the stuff that you sent me. So and then Good Vito, of course, is another wild card in the mix. What do you see as being the first top 5 call out? If you had a call it out.
No, Dave. I don't know. You know why? You just forgot Martin. World class.
Martin, right? Martin.
I have honestly. I wish I could give my opinion and say the way it's going to go, but this is my prediction for top 5. And I told someone today. And I would love to know, have the confidence to say this is my top 5 call-out, but I mean, you just don't know how people are going to look the day of the show. And, throw Beirut in there. Does he just strike you? I don't know what he looks like. Is he bigger than, let's say, Derek Hottie? Is he wider? Is he taller than Walker? He's damn good.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say he's going to beat those guys, but does it take your eye off them for some of the prejudging? Because I feel who my eyes go to the most is usually leading and prejudging. So
my prediction is we're going to get a 7-man call out for the first call out.
Yeah.
And then they're going to start moving people around because I've seen enough of these Olympias where Steve Weinberger does this. He'll call a 7-man call out, because invariably someone in those names that we mentioned is going to be off, right? Those guys will be out of that call out, but you're going to get a Nick Walker, Beirut, Samson, Derek, Hottie. Who did I leave out? Martin. And and someone else is going to be in there that we don't know. Maybe it's Good Vito or someone's going to be there, and you're going to get that call out, and then people are going to be moved around, people into the middle, and then they're going to send back 3 or 4 guys, and they're going to call out a few more guys, and that's usually how they work it. They don't usually, unless it's so clear cut that 2 or 3 guys are standouts, then you might get a 3-person call out or something like that. But usually, in my experience in the last several years there, they give you a big call out first, and then they try to, and it's so chaotic up there because there's too many people up there. And that's just that first call out. They keep those guys out there a very long time to kind of see who really looks good, who's holding their conditioning, who's posing well. Send them back, and then the call outs, then they'll get some of the lower call outs done, and then they'll bring back that first call out, except usually it'll be like 5 guys or 4 guys at that point, and they'll start whittling it down. And that's usually been the history of it. There's always a couple guys that are completely off that get excluded from that first call out, and maybe they work their way back in a little bit, but they're out of it. And then there's guys that we never expected to look amazing who seem to work their way up into that call out. So, and that's been the history, I think, of the men's open, prejudging. And obviously it's going to be Friday night. Where they're going to stick it, I don't know. Last year they kind of put it in the middle of the program, which I thought was better than putting it at the end of the program when we're at 11 o'clock at night. More than likely, those 212 guys, it's going to be the finals for them on Friday night. They'll probably go on really late, I would imagine. I hope they put the open guys early into the program. I mean, that would be the smart way to do it. Let them get it done and over with, and then on Saturday night they can put them on as late as they want. No one cares after that.
I suspect it's going to be a free for all. I think the audience is going to love it. I think the judges are going to love it. There's so many good people in the show. End of story. Start of story. End of story.
Yeah.
You get the washing machine on again.
I got to figure out what's going on with it. I think I have the wrong. I don't think I have. I think I'm on Wi-Fi rather than hardwired, and maybe that's what's. I'm sorry if it's sucks the connection, but we're gonna wrap up anyway because it is Olympia week. There's going to be a lot of coverage all week long. I think Iron Debate will be going up Monday. We did an Iron Debate last week. It's going to be a good one. I think Sid's going to break it into a couple parts. That'll go up. And it's going to be, this week it's going to go up, I should say. Did you put it up yet, Sid, or is it going up tonight or this afternoon? I don't even know what's going on my own channel. That's how busy I am. I had the kids. I had to get them to school this morning. My daughter was having like a tonight. Okay. My daughter didn't want to get out of bed. Can you imagine the stress of getting these kids to school in the morning is unbelievable. But it's fun. It's fun at the same time. It's fun at the same time. I wish I lived so close to the school when I was a kid. My kids live like 2 minutes from the school. It's great.
Wow.
So
walk to school always. We were close enough to walk to elementary.
Did you really?
Yeah.
They don't let kids do anything these days. I don't think kids are even allowed to walk to school anymore. We used to ride bikes to school.
Yeah, we rode bikes to school. God, that was the greatest freedom. Ride your bike and lock it out.
And think about it. It was cold when we went to school.
Oh,
my kids are in Florida.
It's just right there. We'd ride bikes before, till it started to snow.
I know, so do we. But I'm saying now these kids don't want to even ride the bikes. I don't know because it's too hot, or I don't even know if they let them ride them anymore.
Hey, you know what the most annoying thing of having kids in 2025 is, which you and I do not have? We didn't have water bottles.
Oh my God! I know. We used the dirty water fountain, and it was fine.
You can't go anywhere without a water bottle. And in sports,
do you remember there were kids that would stick their whole mouth over that water fountain, like slurp the water out of there, and you'd still go up and drink after the person because you didn't care. It didn't matter. You'd drink out of the hose, but back then it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Filling those water bottles. You're right. Water bottles. Oh my God. How times have changed.
The whole occupation that every single human being is dehydrated is just like, I don't. We just drank water before we went to school, or whatever we drank in the morning, and then whatever.
But I have a solution for the water bottle situation, Chris. I'm willing, as a parent, to donate an extra $100
Ooh.
for the school year, so they can buy water bottles. Okay, and if every parent did that and gave a few bucks, they could buy enough water, okay, to supply the whole school with as many water bottles as they want. And you wouldn't have to have those stupid iron things I got to put in the dishwasher every night. I got to clean them out. I got to load them up. You just give out bottles of water. If a kid wants a bottle of water, you give him a bottle of water. How expensive is water? Do you know what we pay in taxes? I'll pay the money. Let everyone. I'll even pay for the whole class's water for the. I don't care.
You don't pay the tax you paid in Seaford. That's what you pay.
No, it's definitely not. Definitely not that much. But my point is that I can't believe these schools don't. They give free lunches. Get some water bottle. You could probably get a company to sponsor the whole school thing, and Evian or whatever these companies are. Let them be the official water sponsor of the school. Yeah. And they'll give away free water bottles with their advertising on it. They'll probably make a fortune on people going home and buying the same water bottle because they'll think it's cool. I don't know what. It's the dumbest thing of all time. These stupid water things. Give away water bottles. I'm telling you, they're acting like it's $1 million for water. You can get probably a case of water in Walmart for like $8 for 24 waters. If the school bought it by the 100 cases at a time, they probably can get it for like 3 cents a bottle. Dumb. They probably don't want all the plastic all over the place because people will be. But then they could do the recycle program too, and then they could have all the kids take all the plastic back to the recycle plant. Remember when we were kids, you would take the newspapers, Chris? No one knows what newspapers are these days, but
the money problem.
You'd bring like 6,000 pounds of newspapers, and you get like $4.25 back for it. And you thought you were rich. Thought you were rich.
Because a quarter went somewhere.
Nowadays, the kids throw that change on the floor. They're like, "Oh, we don't even want this stuff." Did they get rid of the penny? I heard they were getting rid of the penny.
Our sign the other day, we're getting rid of we're no longer printing pennies.
They should get rid of the nickel too. They should just keep
rid of the dollar. What's a dollar buy you?
They should. They probably should get rid of all change, but all you need is a quarter. Just quarters are fine because you need quarters for the gumball machine. Do your kids go crazy over the gumball machine?
No,
we go to this one restaurant, Chris. There's this gumball machine. It's about as tall as I am. You put a quarter in there in this gumball, and it goes down this like spiral staircase. And it takes about 10 minutes for the thing to hit the bottom. I don't even think they want the gum. They just want to see the gum, the ball go around the thing. So you got to have those gumball machines. So you need quarters to do that. There's no credit card slot for the gumball machine. So, but other than that, I would get rid of all the other the change. I don't think it's necessary for the rest of the change. And that would be it. That's my solution. No nickels, no dimes, no pennies. And if you still have some, and we'll give you a grace period to turn them in. That's my suggestion. I'm sure they would rather get rid of all the cash. To be honest with you, when we go to hotels, the hotels only take credit cards now. You can't even pay for anything in cash anymore.
Yeah, I tried to pay for cash this morning. I tried to pay for an $8 protein cookie and a
can't
coffee.
do it.
No, they wouldn't take cash.
No, I know. And you can't even do it in the airports anymore.
Yeah.
They're slowly taking it away. Slowly but surely taking it away. You go to a carnival, though. That's all they want is cash. Yeah, let's plug those. Our live reaction shows for the 212 Classic Men's Physique prejudging and Friday and Saturday night shows will be on RX Muscle's YouTube channel. So we have a whole cast of people helping us out, and I appreciate it, from King Kamali and Armand Adibi and Jason Arnst and Amin Alai. We have the whole crew. They'll be doing their live reaction show as it's going on. So if you guys are watching the live stream, you can listen to the RX Muscle reactions of an interpretation and analysis of all the people we do. They've been very successful over the last 3-4 years, and we're going to continue doing it this year. So guys, if you're not going to be at the Olympia, you can watch them. And then of course, Chris, myself, and probably every other expert will be doing the wrap-ups. Who do you think we'll get? Who do you think we'll get in the wrap-ups this year? We always add like one person we didn't expect to have. You know, I'm sure we're going to see Cormier and Dennis James, and maybe even we'll get Jay, and we got Jay and Phil for the Arnold wrap-ups, right?
Yeah.
That was great.
Well, that was nice because it was backstage and like had some quietness to it, so people.
Yeah, so I'm sure Samir will be there screaming and arguing with Milos, right?
Yeah, Milos and Samir will be the like mag. The one towards the wrap up.
Milos and Samir like to go at it. You can go at it, you know, with the checking. They check boxes off, right? Aren't they box checkers? Yeah.
Box checking and beauty, Dave.
We'll get Samir to show his abs off. What is he, like 80? Is he 80 yet, or is he still 70s?
No, he's yeah, he's getting up there towards 80. Yeah, he's mid-70s, late 70s.
You know, it's funny though, but Samir is probably in the best shape of all the Mr. Olympias that are still out there. You know,
Yeah,
as far as the old guys go. You know, I'm saying. And it's always good. You know, it really is a family reunion every time we go to the Olympia every year. I love to see all the people that we see once a year.
yeah,
It's like
crazy.
it's good to know that everyone's still there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not.
We lose a lot of people, but you know what? It seems like the older people are doing better than the younger people these days, right? We're losing the young people. We're not. The old guys are hanging in there a lot better than the young guys are.
Yeah,
So I don't know what that says about anything, but
Romano was wrong.
yeah. So anyway, I think John will be out there. Maybe we'll get John to actually show up at the show, and he can do the wrap up with us. So we have a lot of good people. I'm sure there'll be like 25 people in the wrap up. It'll be chaos, yelling, screaming, fans. But that's what you guys expect from us, and that we're gonna be delivering Friday night. We'll be wrapping up. We'll be wrapping up Saturday night. We'll probably wrap up the classic prejudging as well, and the 212 prejudging as well. So it's going to be a busy weekend.
Gonna be busy.
I'll probably come home exhausted, but that's the way it goes. I wouldn't expect it any other way. Chris has 10 million clients in the show, so if you don't see Chris as much as you like in the wrap ups, it's good because he has to run away and go see them immediately after the show. So.
Yeah, I'll screen my and post on Instagram. The number of people just texted me. That's the show. What I
did, Chris, is I had Elon Musk build you a tunnel from your hotel to the resorts, so that we can sneak you back to your hotels on a moment's notice, so you can hang out for all the wrap-ups.
At the convention center is where he first built that tunnel with that.
I know.
Yeah.
That's the one that goes to the convention center, right to the Hilton there.
Yeah.
I'll probably be in that tunnel more times than I would care to admit to this coming weekend. So we'll see. All right, we're gonna wrap this up for now. Sid and I got to record Ask Dave, so that we have that ready for you guys on Wednesday. But for now, we are out of time. And as we say every week here at Heavy Muscle Radio,
The truth hurts.
we'll see you in Vegas.